Hi guys, today we are going to talk about something that really triggered me recently, and I was actually surprised because I thought that I'm about that point when some random drama on the internet can trigger me, but no, not this time. This time I got so triggered that I decided to record a video about it and to talk about my frustration, to be honest, because I'm also frustrated right now. So you probably heard about some drama around Godot and their community manager. First of all, I really wanted to create a whole video, informative video about that, to talk about all the tweets, or maybe, I don't know how is it called right now, because it's not Twitter anymore, it's X. But to be honest, there is a great video made by Gold that covers the topic pretty much perfectly, and I don't really feel that I have anything to add if it comes to the information. So I'm just going to talk about the drama from the point of view of the developer, of someone who is working with engines, from someone who is also developing, maybe not engines, but who is developing games. So I'm definitely an engine user. If you somehow don't know what the whole drama is about, I will tell you really quickly that it's about community manager of Godot, who decided, or who is believed to, using her, not her platform, but platform where she works, to talk about her frustration or to target people who don't really agree with her. I'm not sure if it's her. I don't really want to be implied in here. She described herself as she, they, so about her, I suppose. Apparently, she decided to ban a lot of Godot users, Godot supporters, ban them on Discord, on X platform, and very often without any reason, to be honest. So there was a post of Godot engine on X. Apparently game engines are woke now, well then we won't complain. And some guy responded to that, focus on the engine and not politics. And he got banned. I mean, just after that post he got banned. And he's a titanium level backer for the Godot Found. And he basically said, guess what my next move is? And it's so frustrating, to be honest. Frustrating, you can ask, but for who? For Godot developers. When people were trying to reach them out, the original Godot developer on XPlat, apparently they had no idea about the whole situation. They have no idea about the ban, about the reason of the ban, and they of course recommended to take some steps to contact their community managers, basically. Which was, guess who? I know that as a user of the engine, you really want the engine to, not only the engine to work properly, but also the part of the social media platforms to work properly. But when are you a game developer and you are already working hard, as really hard, you actually might be very quickly out of control if it comes to anything other than your very small field when you are working. So you are working very hard as a developer, you are doing your best, you are probably doing some overtime at your job. It's your whole life sometimes. And then, I don't know how it always ended up like that, but it's like a very different field of some, like in here, community manager, or some other people who are in contact with fans, in contact with the community. And they actually screwed up. They screw up so badly. I don't understand how is it even possible. I mean, honestly, that's their job. They should be in contact with the community. They should, for example, answer questions. They should, I don't know, maybe create some fun memes or maybe some worst memes, but not get offended or not ban people. And somehow destroying everything. I just don't believe that that girl just didn't know what she was doing. Like, she couldn't predict how people could react. She was just doing her job so bad. And as a person who was working in a few companies, I know that I was working as a 3D artist, so in a very different job position, I just was always trying to do my job as good as it's possible. I just don't understand how is it possible that someone who is a community manager might be so disrespectful for the community. I mean, she had like one job, to be in touch with the community and to make the whole Godot community better. I mean, it's not like she was chosen to be a community manager on Godot just to have a big platform to complain about her frustration and her unsuccessful life. You know what's even more annoying? Is the fact that she doesn't even care right now. So she got a feedback that she screws up and she's proud of herself. I don't get it how she still has that job, how she wasn't fired until now, because I can tell you that I would be super anxious if it comes to my job, that if I screwed up one thing I had to do, I will be like kicked out in a second. And what is more, if I ever screw up my task and the feedback would be so bad, I will be probably terrified. I don't know, is it a thing that I was too responsible during my job? But I don't think so. I think that lots of game developers, programmers, 3D artists, people who are responsible for the animations in games, when they are doing their job, I could observe them. They were taking that very seriously. They were doing their best. And why she doesn't? Why she has the privilege to screw up so badly? It's not like some small company. It's one of the most popular engines nowadays. And right now people are responding for that with the anger. And I don't blame them because they were paying, for example, $100 per month. It's like a sick amount of money just to support an engine you like. And then you get banned only because you said you would like to see your engine focused on, I don't know, developing. And they get banned for that. And after that, they are just upset and they are thinking about taking back the money. And that's really normal thing to do. And that community manager, she's not even feeling sorry. Even if she lose her job, she's going to just, move to another and don't give up. Like, seriously. And you know who is going to be the victim of the situation? Maybe one of the victims, because the community is also in a bad position right now. But the other victims are developers of the engine, who are just working quietly behind their desk and just trying to make the engine better. And they don't have time for the community drama. They might be not even aware of that because they're just working on some new updates, on some fixes, and they will end up with less money. Maybe they will end up even fired because the company will lose such an amount of money that they will have to reduce the employees. I hope it's not going to be that bad. I hope that it's going to just focus on that community manager. But I'm honestly really angry if it comes to that, because I can really feel them. Right now, I'm just genuinely surprised by the fact how different approach to work people might have, because I just can't imagine doing something like that as my job responsibility. I don't know, maybe I'm just built different, but no, it's not like I'm just built different. I'm 100% sure that developers right now are people who are also working very hard on their project. They are doing such a great job because Godot is that's an amazing program. It helps a lot of people to start with their game dev. So there is some part of people who actually do their job, and there is like a lot of people who are just they don't really care about that. How is that even possible? That we live in the same world? So you can just ruin all the job of other people in a few seconds, and she's proud about that. And the other thing that really annoys me here is that I do agree with the fact that it will be great if game engine focus on being game engine, not on politics or not on any woking, I would say. I don't even know how to talk about that, because I have a feeling that I might seem like a very disrespectful person, which I'm not. But the problem is that right now or people who say something like that might be very quickly put in the position that they are disrespectful. I mean, how that might be disrespectful? It's not about being respectful or disrespectful. It's about having an expectation. In here, that's an expectation for the engine to be an engine, to focus on, I don't know, something about the game development, about how things are done. That's not a place when you are talking about your sexuality. I think that's something very basic, and I really do understand people who want the X of Godot or Discord of Godot to be a place when they can find some information strictly about the engine, because they are not there to get, you know, triggered or going into politics. I think that we really should have some places that are free of that stuff. And apparently games nowadays have like a lot of that politics. I have a feeling that very, very often those topics are forced in those games, so they are technically not about that, but the companies making the games are basically just forcing those politics in the games. But right now it escalated to engines. I mean, when is it going to stop? You are basically a game developer who wants to make your game work, and you are going to game engine Discord, and what you get is some politics again. So where can you find a place without politics right now? And when you politely just ask them to focus on game engine topics because you are here for the game engine, you are getting banned. And like normally I don't really enjoy doing some drama on the internet. I think that one is really important, just to show people that there is some kind of line they shouldn't cross. And this is always so sad when it comes to the results of those actions, because most of the times not the company owners, not the community managers are the one who hurt the most. People who hurt during that dramas the most are actually developers, because as a response, people are taking back their money from the project, people are not playing the games, and it hurts people who actually put lots of their time, their passion, their heart, their life into it, who were developing the game engine, who were developing the game. The very similar thing if it comes to the feedback for the developers. It was the situation around the whole drama with Helldivers. And yet again, you know who was responding the community during their weekend? Developers. If you actually could remember that thing, like the whole drama, the PlayStation, the main media of the Helldivers, they made a statement on Friday, if I'm not mistaken, and they let it be for the weekend. People were just very mad about it during the weekend, you know, Saturday, Sunday, and the company, the community managers, they didn't care about this. CEO of the companies were not available apparently, and you know who was responding to community? Game developers. So people who were actually working on the game. So people who put their hearts on the development, who wanted the game to be something amazing, who worked for making the game just an amazing project for a few years. And they were realizing that it might all go to rubbish just because of the one stupid decision of some kind of, I don't know, CEO, community manager, someone completely not related to the game itself. And I really feel sorry. I really get frustrated because I can feel for them. It really hurts when you put so much effort, when you spend so much time with the project, and then some other person is just doing such a destructive things, and you can do nothing about that because it's not a part of your job, but your project is going to the scrap because of that. And honestly, I know that this video might be considered as pointless for you. I'm not telling that we shouldn't talk about those behaviors of community managers or about those bad decisions of CEOs, but I just wanted to share with you some of my feelings because, like I said, somehow it's always the developers who are getting the most of the negative feedback. And I really hope they are going to just fire that lady from the community manager position and just they are going to remake their politics if it comes to rearranging the community system. Yeah, basically that's my feedback. You can tell me what do you think about that. You can tell me what do you think about mixing politics with, I don't know, engines. And you can tell me what do you think about the drama. Maybe I'm just feeling too sorry for developers because I'm one of them. Yes, so that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and please, if you enjoyed the video, you can just leave a like and subscribe to my channel.